National Sexual Violence Research Center, nearly 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men in the United States have been raped at some time in their life. This includes completed forced penetration, attempted forced penetration, or alcohol-drug facilitated completed penetration. This is a critical issue that needs to be discussed because the experience of being raped can happen to anyone. A person's age, gender, or race does not matter. Anyone can become a target. Survivors of rape go through many obstacles. They must deal with the psychological and physical trauma, medical bills, reporting of the crime, law enforcement, and the blaming that comes with rape culture. Today, I want to talk about the negative effects that rape culture has on their victims. As a society, people tend to blame the survivor for the rapist's actions. People justify their actions by automatically blaming their survivor's behavior or outfits. But how does that make it acceptable? By justifying rape culture, fewer survivors are coming forward about their rape. Many survivors are afraid of the outcome of reporting because of what people might say. There have been many cases where even law enforcement condone this type of behavior of blaming the victim. In 2011, a Toronto police officer visited Ascoti Hall Law School to talk about personal safety to students. During his discussion, he said, "I've been told I'm not supposed to say this. However, women should avoid dressing like sluts in order not to be victimized." This shows how law enforcement are not even on the side of the survivor, all because of what they are wearing. Afraid of being judged, more forensic kits are being untouched and unreported. According to Atlantic, across the country, as many as 200,000 rape kits sit unopened in police storage, while assailants, the people whose genetic fingerprints are decisively coded within such kits, and in some cases strike again. Not only are they afraid of being judged and blamed, but they are also afraid of not getting justice for the perpetrator's action. This leads me to my next argument, to why fewer perpetrators are being held accountable for their actions. Many survivors of rape will not report the crime due to fewer perpetrators being held accountable. Survivors do not want to put themselves through more pain and suffering, knowing they might not receive their justice because of the shocking statistics. For instance, out of every 1,000 sexual assaults, 995 perpetrators will walk free. 230 are reported to police. 46 reports lead to arrests. 9 cases get referred to prosecutors. 5 cases will lead to a felony conviction, and 4.6 rapists will be incarcerated. Seeing these statistics gives me a feeling of unease because we are seeing how many rapists will walk free. Only 4.6 perpetrators will be incarcerated. The main reason why is because of our justice system. The United States justice system is so corrupted that they will incarcerate an innocent person for a crime they did not commit before putting a rapist in jail, even if there's a concrete proof. For instance, according to The Intercept, Eddie Martins and Richard Hall, the cops who resigned after the incident involving the then 18-year-old Chambers, were sentenced to 5 years of probation after they pleaded guilty to 11 charges, including bribery and misconduct. Both men admitted to having sex with a teenage girl while she was held in their custody in 2017, an act that, thanks to Chambers' case, now constitutes rape under the law. This shows how even law enforcement are not being held accountable for rape under the law. Anna Chambers had concrete proof of rape. DNA of both officers were found in the forensic kit. How are people supposed to feel like they can receive justice when events like this happens? When people blame the victim, they always ask the question of, what were you wearing? This is one of the prime examples that people say to rape victims, or rape in general. By saying this, they are making the victims feel like they are responsible or guilty for what has happened to them. People should not justify their rape all because of what they were wearing. You know why? Because they are also referring to the many children and infants that have been raped. For instance, in the art project, What Were You Wearing? By Jen Brockman, highlights many rape victims' clothing to spread awareness. The two that stood out the most were these images. This is of a boy, and this is of a 6-year-old girl. The first image says, a sundress. Months later, my mother would stand in front of my closet and complain how I never wore any of my dresses anymore. I was only 6 years old. The next one says, my favorite yellow shirt, but I don't remember what pants I was wearing. I remember being so confused and just wanting to leave my brother's room and go back to watching my cartoons. This makes this statement of what were you wearing so horrible, because any person can be raped, even a child. Imagine when these children get older and they hear this horrible statement about rape. This will make the victim feel horrible about themselves and what they are wearing. Like this 6-year-old girl who no longer wears dresses because it is a reminder of her rape. Even if a person is dressed provocative, that does not give the perpetrator the permission to violate them. People should not be slut-shamed all because they want to feel good about themselves and express their confidence. Which is why, as a community, we should bring an end to rape culture. Because we should not we should not be blaming the victim for what has happened to them. This is not the victim's fault for being raped. This is the perpetrator's fault for not being able to control themselves. If we stop rape culture, more victims will come forward about the rape and receive the justice that they have long lost. We will be able to hold perpetrators accountable for their actions and put them behind bars. Therefore, it is so important to address this topic and spread awareness for these victims. So let's stop rape culture. Thank you.